Hello everybody, this is Lego Max 1010, and today I'm here and I'm going to be showing you guys how to make custom item textures, but for bows. So in the past I have done tutorials on certain items such as just normal swords, which is my first video. My second video was how to add animations to your items. My third video was on custom armor, and now I'm going to be showing you how to make custom bows that actually keep their texture when you pull them back. So yeah, let's jump right into it. As you can see, I have 4 bows right here, and just a quick disclaimer, every single one of these textures that you're seeing right now is from the First Sky Reborn version 1.0 resource pack for Hypixel Skyblock. Other than this crystal armor, this texture I made in a video, my last video on texture tutorials. So yes, just none of these are mine. These are all textures from First Sky Reborn, but for today's video I am going to be making my own custom texture for the Souls Reborn bow, which was recently added to the game, and yeah, does not have a texture in this resource pack yet, so I'm going to be making one for my own personal use. So if you have not already watched my first video, which just shows the basics of creating custom textures such as these and these, please go watch that right now. It will definitely help you to understand this video a little bit better. And also, if you wish to add animations to your bows, such as these two, and this one also does have an animation, then you might want to watch the animation video as well, because that will go into more depth on the specifics of the animation. One thing I should note before diving into this is that the animation will only work for the passive frame, so just holding it like this. There can't be any animation for the pulling back of the bow. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your resource packs folder, and to do that you just press escape, options, resource packs, and then open resource packs folder down here at the bottom. So as you can see, this is a folder with every single one of my resource packs in it, and yeah, so the first thing you're going to want to do is locate the one that you're going to be putting your texture inside of. So for me, it's this one right here. If you don't already have a resource pack, just create one, and there will also be links to template versions and yeah, versions that you can use to just get an idea of how they should be structured folder-wise. So I'm opening up this resource pack, which again is not mine. I have no affiliation with it. I'm just using it because it looks cool. And I'm going to navigate to the bows folder. So to do this, open it up. And if you already don't have these folders, you will need to make them just by simply creating a folder on your desktop and dragging it in to the zipped folder when this is all done. Don't drag it in until you are done making your texture. Go to the folders named Assets and then Minecraft. These folders right here are just for different mods to make this work with them. So Minecraft, then mcpatcher. If you're using a version above 1.16, you will need to change the name of the mcpatcher folder to be optifine. That's basically it, and I think it should work in the higher versions. I'm using version 1.8.9 right now, so I don't need to do that, but I'm going to go into the mcpatcher folder. Then CIT, which I believe stands for custom item textures, go into there, and then anywhere in here you can put your file. But these folders are just created to make it a little bit easier to find them, because this resource pack has tons of files in it, and if it was just all jumbled up in here, it would be a nightmare to actually locate the one you're looking for. So it doesn't really matter where your files are, as long as they're in the CIT folder. But for this resource pack, the bows are actually under items, and then a folder called bows, and then there's a bunch of different folders with each different type of bow, just to keep a little bit more organized. So what I'm going to do is create a folder on my desktop and call it the name of the bow, which is Souls Reborn. And in here I'm going to put all of my files. This is not a necessary step, obviously, as I just explained. You can just dump all your files in the one CIT folder, but I would suggest being a little bit more organized and actually creating specific folders. So inside of this folder, I'm going to need a bunch of different things. First thing I'm going to need is the actual texture, and I will need, I believe, 3 or 4 frames. Let me just double check with one of these. So this is 4 different frames, of the texture, and if you want an animation, you will need another file called an mcmeta file, which I will go into more depth later. And then you will also need the properties file, which tells the game when to use your texture. So at this point, if you don't already have a texture, you are going to need to go do that. I don't have one yet, so I'm going to go make a texture real quick. So I'm going to be macing all of my files off of the prismarine bow, as you can see. Okay, so I have a texture that I think I am pretty happy with, to be honest. So this is the animation. It's just a little pulsing orb in the place of what used to be nothing on the prismarine bow. And as you can see, I have it just covered up here a little bit, but by the arrow. But I can't actually animate these frames because these are the pulling back frames, as you can see. So here's 1, 2, and 3. I could add a little bit more here, but I'm just going to leave it as it is because honestly I don't mind too much. What it looks like, this is just a proof of concept to show you how it's actually done. So as you can see up here, it's still saved as a prismarine bow standby, which is what the actual frame with the not pulling back looks like, or is called. So I'm going to rename this and save it as a new file. So it doesn't really matter what you save it as, but I would suggest saving it as the actual name of the bow, underscore standby for the standby variation, and then for the pulling backs, I will get to that in just a second. So Souls Reborn standby .png, and I'm just going to save it to my desktop. So I'm just going to do the same thing with frames 0 through 2, which is how this is labeled. So file, save as, and then as you can see, underscore 0. So I'm just going to keep the underscore 0 and call it Souls Reborn underscore 0 .png, and then save that to my desktop. So now I have all the textures that I am going to be using, but what I need to do is make a properties file and mcmeta file. So I'm going to start off with the properties file. So this looks a little bit different from the normal texture file, and that's because I actually have to reference which texture I want to be using individually for the frame. So I've just opened the endstone bow property from this texture pack that I made mostly myself. Doesn't really matter where I got it. Anyway, so first line, type equals item. That is the same thing as every other .properties file. Items equals Minecraft : bow. That's fine because that's the base item. Then the next 4 lines are where it actually changes. So you just have texture.bow underscore standby equals, and then the texture which you want your standby to be. So for me, it's Souls Reborn underscore standby. So I'm just going to change that to Souls Reborn underscore standby. So far, this is all good. Next thing I need is the nbt.display.name equals iPattern : and then an asterisk, the name of the bow. So for me, that is Souls Reborn. And none of this should be capitalized, although in some cases it would be more beneficial to actually have it capitalized, but just don't capitalize it and it should work. If it doesn't work, let me know and I can see what I can do. So this looks good for my .properties file for the Souls Reborn. So I'm just going to save this, and I'm going to be saving it as a .properties file. I covered this in my first video. If you haven't already seen that, go see it. It'll help you understand what's actually happening here. .properties. And yep, save it as all files. And I'm just going to have it saved to my desktop. And save. Last but not least, I need a mcmeta file. And for the mcmeta file, I'm going to be referencing my adaptive blade texture for the mcmeta file. And this is just going to be the same as your standard animation. Yeah, I don't know what else to say really. I'm going to make the frame time set to 2 though. So that's just about it. I'm going to save it as a mcmeta file. Just do what I do. The animation video covers it more. Souls underscore reborn .png.mcmeta. And I actually might have to label this Souls Reborn underscore standby. I think that is going to, going to be better and the actual thing I want. So save as all files, and it should go to my desktop, so save. Last but not least, I'm going to take all of these files for the Souls Reborn bow, drag it into my Souls Reborn folder. Then with that, I'm going to drag the Souls Reborn folder, or bow folder, into my bows folder in my actual resource pack that I want to be editing, and it has to compress. And now, as you can see, Souls Reborn is in that folder. So now I'm going to go into the game and see if it worked. So I'm now in game, and as you can see, the bow in my hands has the texture that I just created. And when I pull it back, it keeps that texture and actually does the pullback animation. And it shoots and reverts back to the animated texture. So yeah, that's basically how you create a custom bow texture in Minecraft. Remember, if you're in 1.16, you need to change the mcpatcher folder to be named optifine, and yeah, that's basically it. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you do have any problems with this, leave a comment down in the comment section. I will try to help you the best I can. And also, if you join my Discord, we have a special channel where I or somebody else who's knowledgeable about textures can help you out, and actually, if you have a problem, try to help you. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to like it, subscribe it, share it, and favorite it. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.